Quaker Steak and Lube at the Highlands with another steal of a deal. Get a steak burger and fries all day Monday for only $8.99. It's also Military Mondays. The Lube will take 25% off for all veterans, active duty military, and first responders. Quaker Steak and Lube voted Best Wings USA.
Celebrate the 55th edition of the big game with exclusive 55-1 odds on FanDuel Sportsbook. And if you've never tried FanDuel before, new users can bet on either team and get 55-1 odds. Now, FanDuel has all kinds of ways for you to win. They've got a wide range of options, big super boosts every weekend, odds boosts and specials all the time. Your withdrawals come very quickly, and it's easy to register, deposit, and easy to find your bet. So download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Use promo code Monroe to get started. FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code Monroe. Brother Biff is betting on Kansas City. He says it'll be a close game, but he's predicting KC to win if you want to get a little suggestion from Brother Biff. So download the app and get started. You must be 21 or older, present in Pennsylvania or West Virginia. New users only. Must wager on designated boost markets. Deposit required. Maximum bonus $275. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-GAMBLER.net.
Does your dog need groomed or walked? Are you looking for a pet sitter or dog boarding options? If so, call Dirty Paws, Wheeling's newest pet care service, providing the Ohio Valley with everyone's pet care needs. Check us out on Facebook at Dirty Paws WHG or call 304-639-7754.
Are you or your loved ones facing a serious legal battle? The law office of Paul Harris wants you to know you aren't alone. Do you need someone that's not afraid to go to trial and fight for your rights? Attorney Paul Harris and his team are willing to go where most firms are not. The courtroom. With a successful track record in civil litigation, criminal defense, including tax issues and healthcare fraud, Harris Law Office will fight for their clients by offering the most aggressive representation in and out of court. Call Paul Harris at Harris Law Office for a free consultation. 304-232-5300.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster. Weather look at your local weather forecast for your Thursday. A mix of clouds and sunshine through a good portion of the day. Temperatures in the lower 40s for daytime highs, falling back to about 31 for the overnight low. Back into the mid to upper 30s for daytime highs under mostly cloudy skies for your Friday. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Launch control, this is Houston. We are go for launch.
You're early.
Roger that.
It's Thursday.
Why even call it Thursday? Problem? We have pizza on Thursday.
Places, please. Quiet down.
Here's a complete disc jockey show with all the modern pace of today's exciting radio.
Good morning. Let's get started.
Seriously. Let's go.
It's showtime.
A fresh take on local, regional, and national news. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe, brought to you in part by Wheeling Hospital.
Well, it's Thursday. We've made it through. The week is almost done. Not quite. We got some to go. But Thursday is always a good day. It means we've made it past the halfway mark, at least. I feel pretty good about that. Got a lot of stuff I want to talk to you about today. His constituents sent him home. But Governor Justice brings Mitch Carmichael back into state government. Brad McElhenney going to drop in to talk about that. Carmichael now becomes the top economic development director for the state of West Virginia. The Mountain State Legislature is back in session next week. Democrats, of course, in the super minority. Delegate Sean Fluharty dropping by to talk to us about how the Democrats are going to, try to handle that. They really can't push anything through. Can they convince enough Democrats who have a super majority to make a change? We'll talk to Sean about his thoughts on how that's going to happen. Governor Justice says it's good news. A new Biden administration initiative probably means about 3,000 additional COVID vaccines coming into the state of West Virginia. A rising country music star banned from many radio stations after he used the N-word. And the GOP in the nation's capital still grappling with how to deal with controversial members. Marjorie Taylor Greene, whom many progressive and moderate Republicans and Democrats feel should be censured or maybe removed from her Senate committees, is allowed to stay. But then again, so does Congresswoman Liz Cheney, who voted to impeach Donald Trump, and many conservative Trump-supporting members of the party had wanted her to be removed. So we'll talk about all of that in our DC Digest. Weather-wise, highs in the upper 30s today, some mixed precipitation during the day, a little mixture of sun and clouds during the day, some rain coming in the evening. But it is a cool morning. No. It's a cold morning. 16 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. 16 degrees at the airport. A little wind blowing around, so we're in single-digit range with the feels-like temperature 6 degrees. That's 16 at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. 16 here at my home studios in the Elm Grove section of Wheeling, and 16 degrees at the Robinson Auto Group Studios downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley. I see a few folks are popping on already on our Facebook Live video feed. Watch, I appreciate that. We're on Facebook Live on my Facebook page, on the Watchdogs Facebook page. You can also check the video feed on our YouTube channel and directly off our website, watchdognetwork.com. All kinds of ways for you to peek inside the home studios here and look at me, looking at you. That's what you can see. And if you are watching us on Facebook Live, do me a favor. I ask you this every day. Push that like button so it says you like the video feed. As I say every day, if you want to say you love the video feed, you can hit the love button, the heart button. But like it and then share it. That's the important thing. Hit the share button and share our video feed with your timeline and your news feed. All right, so folks have another chance to catch up with us here on the show. Of course, you can always listen on the radio, off the radio, on TuneIn Radio, using your personal assistant. We're coming through the smart speakers as well, and you can get our audio feeds directly at watchdognetwork.com as well. So lots of ways for you to listen and for you to watch. 7:13 here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Biff, what would you say is probably the biggest thing people have been complaining about, BITCH about, over the last few days, on the last few weeks really, on social media or in person or on our text line? What's the one thing a lot of people are really frustrated with right now?
Vaccines.
And who's going to get them? And how many times have we all seen on social media in particular, my granddaddy is 80 years old and I've been trying to get him and I can't get him an appointment and I don't understand why. And by the way, I'm not making fun of people saying that. I got a text, somebody said, I don't know why you make fun of people talking in that funny voice. I'm not making fun. I'm just saying that's the kind of frustration that we're seeing on social media and elsewhere. And I'm seeing it and hearing it personally as well. You know, I've been trying for, why can't I get in there? You know, what's wrong? I'm of age and I've got medical conditions and so on. And we've talked before about there are a number of reasons for that, and we'll get into that again in a minute because there are a couple of clinics coming up this week. But Biff, if they were upset to begin with, here's a little story I think will probably upset people even more. And this popped up on my news feed from USA Today yesterday. And if it had been a less reputable source, I would have said, no, it can't be the case. Apparently, part of the COVID vaccine guidelines, now we know that age is a number one priority, right? You're 80 plus, 70 plus, 65 plus. We know that higher education employees got some priority this week. We know that teachers are getting some priority. Of course, the first priority, they call it 1A category, with healthcare workers, and that certainly is the way it should be, and first responders and so on. But also in the priority category, Biff, smokers. People who smoke are prioritized to get the COVID-19 vaccine before the general population does. I did not know that. Did you know that?
I did not know that either.
That came as a great shock to me. And as I said, honestly, if I had not seen it on USA Today, if I had seen it on some kind of a less reputable site, I would have thought, it's probably not true. But it is true. Again, it's from USA Today. Some don't agree with that, needless to say. In fact, I would think that most don't. I'd love to get your take on it at 304-214-1600. That's our text line, which you can use, or you can call us at 304-232-8255. Now, I get the argument. The argument is the smokers have a compromised lung system, right? And COVID, to a large extent, attacks the lungs. So if you get COVID and you are a smoker, it's going to be much more of a problem than if you're a young, healthy, non-smoker whose lungs are good. So I get that. That's the argument. But the flip side of that, of course, is, hey, it's a choice. Yes, you've got compromised lungs, but it's because you chose to smoke. Now, I'm not trying to pick on smokers here, and I do understand that there is a nicotine addiction that occurs. I'm not trying to be... But just, given how many people are concerned about not getting the vaccine because they're 80, or how many people are concerned because they're not getting the vaccine because they have true medical conditions that predispose them, I would suspect a lot of folks are not happy with smokers getting priority. And again, I did not know this to be the case until I saw the article yesterday. Smokers, of course, more likely to have diseases, lung diseases, high blood pressure, coronary heart disease, and so on. And that's the part of the reason. A recent study that was published in the Journal of American Medicine shows that people who smoke or have smoked are more likely to be hospitalized or die from COVID-19. So they are a higher risk category. But again, it's a choice. And I don't know where I come down on this, Biff. What do you think?
No, they shouldn't have priority over everybody else. Just because, they made the choice to smoke. I mean, why should they get a special exemption or special privilege? And if you do it with them, why don't you do it with anybody else?
If we had all the vaccine in the world flowing through our state and through our country right now, if everybody who wanted it just could walk down to the street corner and see their pharmacy or walk to a clinic and just have it boom, 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 if there was no scarcity of the vaccine, then fine for smokers to get it. But given how many people are fighting and arguing, complaining that they can't get a vaccine when they are in at least the age category and the medical category, it just doesn't seem right to me. It just doesn't seem right to me. Off my face, I put the question up on Facebook last night, and if you want to respond, go to my Facebook page. Margaret says, "I'm against it!" ! They made a choice and should not give them priority for the vaccine. Beverly says, "I take the side of the non-smoker." She says, as time goes by, this could get ugly. Again, I think that's true. I had no idea that smokers were prioritized ahead of the general population. Again, I understand the thought process, but I don't think I can go along with it. I'd love to get your thoughts. 304-214-1600, the text line, 304-214-1600, or you are welcome to call in at 304-232-8255. People who smoke are prioritized for the vaccine before the general population. Do you think that is right? Or do they make a choice and then they should live with it or die with it? Give us a call. We'll talk about it. Give me a text and we'll talk about it. We'll keep bringing this up throughout the morning this morning to see what your thoughts on that are. 7:20, 20 minutes after the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show. 16 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. Feels like 6, so it is a cold, cold morning this morning. Biff, I haven't asked for a while, how are things inside the building up there, temperature-wise?
62 right now.
Oh, you're down below where we were the last time I asked you. You're up like at 64, 65 for a while there. 62.
Yep.
Got your sweater on? Got your Wheeling Central or Notre Dame sweatshirt and scarf or something?
I've got a hooded sweatshirt on, but that's about it.
Yeah. Coffee this morning, or are you still drinking cold stuff?
No, I went coffee this morning. I knew it was going to be cold, so.
Right. Yeah. 16 degrees outside and 62 inside. I'm with you. I think maybe a bit of coffee. I've got my coffee here this morning, drinking out of the Watchdog Morning Show coffee mug. And it is good coffee. Well, coming up, I want to talk about an interesting thing that's happened in Charleston. And we'll talk more about this with Brad Backling later today, but I want to at least get it on the table this morning in the upcoming segment. And that is Mitch Carmichael lost his election. It was his primary election this past year. His own constituents said, nah. Governor Justice said, why, yes, Mitchie, why, yes. We'll talk about it coming up next on the Watchdog Morning Show.
New Belgium Fat Tire Amber Ale is now available in West Virginia.
Volunteer like you. Learn how you can help at casaforchildren.org.
CA House Music has all the gear to make your music legendary. With all the best gear, including Fender, Epiphone, Yamaha, and more, CA House will have you rocking in no time. Get the most for your money with everyday low prices. And we meet or beat internet pricing. Play before you buy and let our product specialists help you pick out the instrument that's right for you. CA House Music, supporting local musicians since 1872. Play music for life.
From the Watchdog Network, right now traffic. Here's the latest from the Robinson Auto Group Traffic Center.
Traffic near the Highlands, on Washington Avenue, and on the Fort Henry Bridge is flowing. Traffic near the Ohio Valley Mall, on 70 and 470, and on State Route 7 is moving smoothly. The lane width reductions on the eastbound entrance ramp and westbound exit ramp to Wheeling Island will continue. The closure of I-70 from US 250 and West Virginia 2 South, the 16th Street exit to the Ogilvy Park exit for Phase 2 of the Fulton Bridge replacement project will continue. The closure of the US 250 North on-ramp to I-70 East as part of Phase 2 will continue. The alternating traffic patterns through the Wheeling Tunnel eastbound as part of tunnel inspection will continue. The alternating single-lane restrictions on Ohio Route 7 from just south of Etna Street and Martins Ferry up until the Bridgeport exit for the installation of protective shielding and drainage updates will continue. The Market Street I-70 eastbound on-ramp will also be closed as a part of the tunnel inspection. The Market Street overpass with reduction will continue. I-70 construction will continue westbound where crossovers are in effect. And all existing detours and closures will continue for the I-70 Bridges project. Follow Ohio Valley Traffic Report on Facebook, WTRF 7 News, and the Watchdog for updates.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster. Weather look at your local weather forecast for your Thursday. A mix of clouds and sunshine through a good portion of the day. Temperatures in the lower 40s for daytime highs. falling back to about 31 for the overnight low. Back into the mid to upper 30s for daytime highs under mostly cloudy skies for your Friday. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
Hi, this is Chris Lawrence from the Metro News News Team. Join us weekdays on the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe for the latest regional news around West Virginia, along with news and weather from WTRF-TV and Bill DeFabio on sports. We give you the Ohio Valley's most comprehensive morning news right here on the Watchdog.
Miss a part of the show? Want to hear a segment again? Check out our podcast page at watchdognetwork.com. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
Ohio Valley headlines coming up in less than 10 minutes, plus Bill DeFabio's morning sports report for you. It's all straight ahead here on the show. Let's see, got a couple of texts coming in, Biff, neither of which I will read. The first one, you and I can get a kick out of, but I can't read it on the air. Did you see that one?
What's the very first one?
It begins with, will the vaccine?
Oh, yeah. I see.
Pretty funny. Makes a good point. But I can't use that on the air.
No.
But Biff and I can get a kick out of it at least. It made me laugh, so thank you for your text. Unfortunately, I couldn't share it with the audience. Then another text came in that I won't read because it's from a troll, and the troll is perpetually turns everything into a Democrats are liars kind of thing, and I literally disregard those things. So you're welcome to keep on sending them to me, but I'm happy to argue about politics, but I'm not happy to put this kind of. That's what I've done on my Facebook page too. I'm no longer accepting, listening, reading people who are just basically trolls and are trying to create controversy out of nowhere. So I'm not going to read that one either. Now, here's one I will read for you. We were talking about whether or not smokers do get priority over the general population in that priority list that's put together by the CDC. I did not know that. Saw the article yesterday. We've been talking about it. Off the text line, Howard, smoker does not get vaccine, gets COVID-19, ends up in the hospital and takes up space that other COVID-19 people could have used. I mean, it's a fair argument. Smokers are more susceptible to going into the hospital with longer term stays and greater illnesses from COVID-19 if they get it. So the argument this texter is making is that it makes sense to prioritize them because if you don't get them the vaccine early, if they end up getting it, they take up space for others in the hospital who may need it. So it's a fair argument. Again, I see both sides to this, but I still think I'm coming down on the side of those who say smokers make a choice. And if you make a choice and it destroys your lungs, and again, I don't mean to be, if you're a smoker, I'm not trying to be mean. I just think it's a reality. It's a choice. I want to talk about one other story here before we hit the news headlines. Because, again, a story that popped out of nowhere yesterday, and apparently Governor Justice had not planned to announce it yesterday, but everybody apparently in Charleston had found out about it, so he thought he'd better do it. The former president of the Senate, Mitch Carmichael, and we all remember Smiling Mitch, and quite controversial, particularly during the teachers' strike, very spoke highly against the teachers during the teachers' strike. A number of other issues as well. He had been the Senate president, I think, for 4 years, been in the House of Delegates before the Senate. I think he went to the House of Delegates back in 2000. So he'd been almost a 20-year member of the legislature. And then last spring, his own party in his own district did not reelect him. Another Republican was elected to his seat and then went on to win the seat in the fall. So Mitch Carmichael basically sent home by his constituents. His constituents said, I don't think so. Nope, time for you to go, Mitch. Governor Justice is bringing him back. Governor Justice is bringing Mitch Carmichael back as the economic development leader in the state. The governor's got such a great way of words. While we feel like with his personality and his stuck-on personality and everything, he can really bring some oomph to us.
Some oomph?
Oomph. Yeah, typical Governor Justice. What I want to know is, what is his stuck-on personality? I don't quite know what that means. We feel like with his personality, his stuck-on personality and everything, he can really bring some oomph to us here. Okay. So from now on, I'm going to call him Oomphy Mitch. I was calling him Smiling Mitch before. I'm going to just call him Oomphy Mitch. He's going to bring Mitch in because he brings oomph to the legislature. The governor said he had planned to hold that off for the State of the State speech, but apparently Carmichael began working yesterday in the State House, and I suppose people like Brad and Stephen Adams and others basically saw him, said, "How you doing here?" "I've got a job." "Oh." Well, all righty then. Now, Mitch has some background in business development. That's what he did for two separate communications companies, CityNet, I think, most recently. And so he has some background in that. I'm not going to disagree with that. But again, when your constituents say we don't want you there, the governor, I'm not sure the governor ought to be bringing him back. And of course, let's be brutally honest about it. What does it mean? It means if he sticks around to the end of the term, his pension goes up. His pension will go up. I think I saw somewhere, and I'll have to ask Brad when he talks to us about this earlier or later today. I think I saw somewhere that his pension would go to $48,000 a year in pension by adding the additional years of service, assuming he stays with the Justice Administration through their second term. So I don't know. I love the article here, and again, this is Brad's writing, so we'll talk to Brad about it. Brad says, Carmichael was an open and energetic figure at the State House. Well, okay, that's one way of putting it. Although he was ending up in controversies. He was persona non grata with teachers during the statewide teacher strikes, that's for sure. And it was the teachers who essentially mounted a campaign against him. It was a teacher, a Republican teacher, to whom he lost in the primary. So, and Carmichael was I guess I want to give Justice credit for this, because Governor Justice has from time to time been willing to overlook previous battles, if you will, with folks, and instead brought them in. Because Carmichael and Justice had actually had some, they fought over a couple of issues in the past. In fact, at one point, Mitch Carmichael said he didn't think he could endorse Justice for a second term. So apparently Governor Justice is willing to overlook that. But anyways, what I want to know, and again, I'll talk to Brad Macklin, who's going to join us next hour to talk more about this story and a couple other things. What I want to know is, number one, what is his stuck-on personality? What does that mean, his stuck-on personality? What does that mean to you, Biff? Stuck-on personality. I'm not sure what that means.
Is that their way of saying stuck up instead of stuck on?
I never thought about that. Okay, it could be.
I mean,
it could be.
I don't know, but how do you sign language the word oomph?
Yeah, that's a good point. Again, be sure to ask Brad that when he calls in, Biff. Don't let me forget to ask that. What was the what was the interpreter doing during the press conference when he said he can really bring some oomph to us here? How did the interpreter do that? That's a great question. More on the legislature and other matters out of the State House coming up. Some with Brad, some with Sean Fluharty later on this morning. A few other things I want to share with you myself. The legislature getting ready, of course, for session next week. And boy, we're starting to hear some things about what the supermajority Republicans want to do, and I don't think any of them are very good. But we'll talk about that a little bit later on. Sean's going to join us today. Bill Ehlenfeld is with us on Monday to do his thoughts about the upcoming session. We'll talk to some of the other local legislators as well as the session gets underway. And the other top story this morning, which I guess we'll probably hear from Steve in just a minute, East Ohio Regional Hospital reopens this morning. And that's good news. I mean, that's good news. They got their last government approvals this week, and I don't know if they had planned to open right away, but they said with the, of course, with COVID creating a lot of need for hospital beds, and also with the detour now in effect, making it more difficult. Well, detours continuing to make it more difficult to, to get to Wheeling Hospital. That they want to reopen. So East Ohio Regional Hospital reopens this morning, which is it's good news. That's good news. It's been well over a year. How long has it been since OVMC and East Ohio Regional Hospital were closed by Electo? It's been over a year, right? Well over a year.
Yeah, I think we were getting close to almost 2 years.
Yeah, okay. The hospital was closed in September of 2019. So, yeah.
Yeah, so about a year and then about, what is that, 17, 18 months, something like that?
Yeah. Yep. So, again, it's a good deal. This Dr. John Johnson is an interesting character, apparently. He's the guy who bought East Ohio and then is having it run by a professional staff. Johnson himself is a medical professional, I think, in the mental health area. I'm not sure exactly what the title of it does. He has some mental health clinics and so on. And he's also the guy who bought the William-Pittsburgh Steel building. Not sure exactly what he does, but must make a lot of money at it.
Yeah.
He bought East Ohio Regional Hospital and he bought the William-Pittsburgh Steel building. That's really interesting. I ought to try and track him down one of these days. All right, let's Stephen Ruffing has more on this story coming up here in our Ohio Valley headlines. Mr. DeFabio, is Bill with us this morning? We had a little trouble yesterday. Is he with us today?
He is.
All right, Mr. DeFabio has the morning sports report for us, and then we'll see what Zach's got to say about the weather. It is a cold morning, 16 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. Feels like temperature 6. Yikes.
The WTRF Channel 7 News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Now it's time for your local news headlines from 7.
Excuse me.
Doesn't come close to Mickey Mantle's card, rookie card of 1952, for $5.2 million. You know how many of those I threw away as a kid? Oh. Hey, be safe. Be considerate of others. Please check on the elderly. I'm Bill DeFabio on sports on AM 1600, and we are the Watchdog.
Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection.
CA House Music has all the gear to make your music legendary. With all the best gear, including Fender, Epiphone, Yamaha, and more, CA House will have you rocking in no time. Get the most for your money with everyday low prices. And we meet or beat internet pricing. Play before you buy and let our product specialists help you pick out the instrument that's right for you. CA House Music, supporting local musicians since 1872. Play music for life.
New Belgium Fat Tire Amber Ale is now available in West Virginia and distributed locally by wine and beverage merchants. With its toasty and biscuit-like malt flavors blended perfectly with hoppy freshness, it's bound to become one of your new favorite craft beers. Fat Tire Amber Ale is now available at local retailers. Please don't drink and drive, and drink responsibly. From your friends at Wine and Beverage Merchants.
Follow us on Facebook for the latest news, show updates, podcasts, alerts, and live video streams from the Valley's only network dedicated to local, community-driven talk radio, The Watchdog. Give us a call and tell us what you're thinking. Locally, 304-214-1600. Out of the area, toll free, 866-514-1600 or 304-232-8255.
From the West Virginia Broadcasting Hall of Fame, directly to you. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe, brought to you in part by Wheeling Hospital.
Biff, did I hear Bill say that a Mickey Mantle card sold for $5.2 million?
Yeah, he had that a couple weeks ago. Because
5.2, I missed 5.2 million?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he had that.
Holy crap!
And he had that a couple weeks ago because the Patrick Mahomes rookie card, I guess, that sold for the price that it did, and it was it was a lot less than what Mickey Mantle's rookie card sold for. So, yeah, that's why.
I mean, I would expect. I guess I missed that in his earlier report. I would understand that a Mickey Mantle rookie card is worth a whole lot of money, right? But 5.2 million?
Yeah, didn't expect it to be that
Bill
much.
said, how many kids stop and think about it? Had those cards?
Well, and wasn't
and threw them away.
Or either threw them away, or I think the thing was, then they put them in the wheels of the bikes, like the spokes or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and then they would ride.
Clapping sound. Yes, exactly. You start at 5.2 million. Every time the wheel went around, you went down $1 million. 4.2, 3.2. Till it was all beat up and worth nothing. Holy God. Boy, you could have. Yeah. Bill probably wouldn't be with us today if he'd saved those cards.
Oh, he told me that this morning. Trust me. I got the whole story of him and his cards.
Really?
And yeah. So, yeah, he talked about the.
Bill's a collector. I mean, he collects things anyways, right?
Yeah, he's quite the collector. Although I think he told me though he quit collecting or doing something. I don't know.
Wow. Yeah, maybe you'll talk more about it today. Coming up in the Bill DeFabio Variety Show today, right after the 12 o'clock news from WTRF TV. It's the Bill DeFabio Variety Show here on the Watchdog. Well, let's talk about the weather. You know what I'm thinking? If a Mickey Mantle rookie card goes for $5.2 million all these years afterwards, Biff, what do you suppose when Teddy's children are children, however many years from now that will be, What do you suppose an autographed edition of Zach Petty's weather ties will go for?
$10.4 million.
I think you're right. Yes, my great granddaddy talked to this guy on the radio, and it's Zach Petty, and I've got an autographed snow tie from him in his rookie year at WTRF TV. It could be worth a lot come that time.
We got to
you
get
got on
the
today.
Weather Channel first.
Is that it? Is that the epitome of being on the Weather Channel? That's where you hit the big leagues.
I think because they do like a online auction sometimes, and I know one of probably the most synonymous meteorologists of all time is Jim Cantori, and he had a auction of his winter jacket or one of his storm jackets through one of the hurricanes, and it was fetching upwards of $20,000, maybe $30,000 just to get a piece of clothing worn by him in a hurricane. So once I hit that status, then we'll start talking money. But I'll give you the stuff for free, Howard. How about that?
I'm just thinking, this is your rookie year. The Mickey Mantle rookie card, $5.2 million baseball card. So this is your rookie year, right?
Right.
So a rookie year weather tie from Zach Petty. Someday that'll be worth something.
Hey, my picture's in the front page of the Wheeling, the Wheeling magazine.
Oh, really?
Front page, Dr. Dave, myself, and Aaron. I wonder how much that would go for if all three of us sign it, and then we keep it around.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. We'll have to do a celebrity auction then. Maybe it will fetch a couple bucks.
That's a great idea. And you could give the money to charity, or like Put a Fabio, you could just keep it.
See, I still need to talk to him, so that way whatever he's still trying to sell, maybe I'll make a trade or try to get some of his stuff, because he seems to always have a good bunch of autographs from what we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, Bill's a big collector, and now Biff is telling me that Bill is cutting back on his collecting a little bit, right?
Yeah, I think that's what he said. He's cutting back. So,
and he collects he's collected all kinds of things, from autographed baseballs to autographed footballs to T-shirts, and of course cards and stuff. Bill's he's a pack rat. Let's just be really honest about it.
Well, hey, let him message me. Give him my name and number, and we'll talk. I'll definitely be interested.
There you go. Maybe he's got something you could use, and he could get. I'm telling you, the rookie year Zach Petty weather tie could be worth something.
Hey, possibly.
What kind of tie you got on today? What do you got on today? Just a regular tie today? I didn't get a chance to see you on the.
Yeah, like a regular silver, gray, white striped tie.
Yeah, I'm sure it looks nice, but it's not like the weather ties.
No,
the snow tie this week was
definitely
good.
Not
like
as exciting as those.
The weather is, I don't know if exciting is the right word. I guess really cold is the phrase to use. It is a cold morning out there.
It is downright frigid. Cold to the bone is what Stephen was talking about this morning, and I have to agree. I had my gloves on this morning. Right now I have temperatures of 14 over at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport with a wind chill factor. Or you're sitting down, right?
Yep.
6 degrees.
Yeah.
Is what it feels like.
We're in single digits and getting to the low single digits. Holy mackerel.
Yeah. I have wind chill of -1 over into New Philadelphia. And early on this morning, I had -3 over into Washington, over at the Washington County Airport. So cold air pumped in to the Ohio Valley this morning.
Oh, man. It is going to warm up, though, a little bit. We're going to get above freezing before the day is over and done with, right?
Yeah, we're going to actually flirt with 40 degrees. As the sunshine is a nice welcome sight, but again, due to the clouds not really being present, that's allowing us to really get as cold. But the sun will warm us up to the flirting with 40 degrees into the afternoon, but that's with the exception of clouds starting to build in, and I'm expecting to see the system arriving late in the evening. So most of the day is going to trend actually rather nice. The morning we're noticing sunrise, picturesque as always. Well, at least we're able to see the sunrise. Let's start there. And then mostly sunny up until about lunchtime, then starts to get a little more filtered as clouds start to build in ahead of this cold front that's going to sweep through. But cold front's not going to do much in terms of temperatures. It's just going to, give us some precipitation to talk about. Looks like a chance of a wintry mix to start, but then it looks like we're going to warm up through the overnight hours. Again, not something that we're used to seeing whenever we have a warming trend into the overnight hours, but that'll allow us to stay warm enough to have most of the precip falling as rain, because imagine if it wasn't and we had that wintry mix, if not freezing rain. I could only imagine the amount of aspirin I would be taking tomorrow morning to talk about the morning commute. Boy, oh boy, I'm glad we're hopefully just sticking with just rain.
So rain tonight, maybe a little bit of snow tomorrow, right?
Yeah, it looks like it should start, and this is a very fast-moving system. It should be out of the region probably by the time everyone's waking up tomorrow, right around 7, 8 o'clock. We could just be seeing a lingering snow flurry or two, because afterwards, a lot of moisture is actually going to be exiting and heading into central Pennsylvania. So, but we'll just be left with the cloud coverage. But low-level moisture will be heading eastward out of the region. So, again, most of the precip will be stopping right around 5, 6 o'clock, and then should be fully out by lunchtime, say.
And then weekend is going to be mid-30-ish, I guess. Again, a little bit of snow each day, looking at your 7-day at least, a little bit of snow each day possible. Sunday's the snow day, I guess.
Sunday is when I'm expecting to see snow showers off and on. I don't expect to see too much in terms of accumulation. It's just going to be that light, powdery snow, just continuing on due to the overcast skies. But one thing I was telling you about yesterday was that big Arctic blast. Now, Howard, models have started to update. Now, in terms of how much cold air is actually going to get pumped in, right now our winds they used to be blowing from the north, if not northwest, and now that would have been pulling in a much colder Canadian air mass from central Canada into the northern panhandle, into the Ohio Valley. As of now, setting up the scenario-wise for the next work week, looks like winds will be blowing from the south, so that's actually going to keep a lot of the cold air out of the region. But I expect it to still slide in Sunday night into Monday morning, where we do have the chance of flirting with low teens, if not high single digits for overnight lows Sunday night into Monday. But at least we're not seeing the 2 degrees. I was able to bump it up to 9 for overnight low Sunday night into Monday.
It's a good example, though, of how everything is relative. I looked at your 7-day today, and I see the low temperatures, 30, 18, 14, 9, 19, 21. Sunday into Monday now, overnight, as you just mentioned, 9 degrees. Yesterday, the overnight was going to be 2, and somehow 9 degrees seems warm now compared to what we talked about yesterday.
When you put it into perspective, it's certainly not going to be as cold from 2 to 9, but I'm sure if you went outside and I said, all right, this is 2 degrees, or you get locked in a cooler or like a freezer and say, all right, we're going to drop it to 2. Do you feel a difference? No, it's cold. All right, we're going to warm it up to 9. Do you feel a difference? No, I'm already frozen solid, so forget about it.
That's a good way. Yeah. I mean, I look at it on the page here, and I say, oh, hey, it's not 2, it's going to be 9. That's a nice warm up, better than we had predicted. But you're right. If I'm standing in it, what difference does it make if it's 2 or 9? Either way, it's freaking cold.
Yeah, not good. But at least we're noticing a
and then some flurries midweek next week, looks like.
Yeah, off and on with mostly cloudy skies expected.
So today, fairly warm comparative to recent days. Some rain coming in this evening. Rain turns to flurries tomorrow morning. And then some snow will be with us maybe for the weekend, in particular on Sunday. That kind of encapsulates it, I guess. And right now, in case anybody's curious, it's darn cold out there. 14 degrees, the air temperature. Feels like temperature is 6. One hand and a thumb will let you count up what the temperature is. So that's cold. Bundle up. Hats, scarves, mittens. Get those Bernie Sanders mittens out, whatever you have to wear. All right, Zach, I appreciate it. You be thinking about that weather tie. I'm telling you, I think, it won't be worth its full value for a while yet. You got to put some more years in. But this will be your rookie year, so you want to, have some of these rookie year ties.
All right, Howard. Hey, I hate to cut you off, but I got to go on air right now, so I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, bye. So I think his rookie tie might be worth something. We'll have to wait and see. Hey, you know what's worth something, Biff? a good bet on FanDuel. In fact, I want to take a minute to talk about something I haven't talked about before. It's the Big Game Bingo. You can claim your Big Game Bingo card for free right now on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Now, the card automatically fills up as you're watching the game. So once you've filled up 5 squares in a row, all you have to do is call bingo to claim your share of, are you ready for this, from FanDuel across the country? $100,000 in prizes. That's right, FanDuel giving away $100,000 in prizes for free. FanDuel is the exclusive home for Big Game Bingo, and your card is waiting for you right now on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. The app is so easy to use. I often talk about how it's very intuitive to use. It takes less than 2 minutes, they say, for you to actually sign up. So keep in mind the Big Game Bingo is there. There are always more ways to win on FanDuel during the big game or any time. But for heaven's sakes, don't miss out on this one. Big Game Bingo, perfect for everyone. And you can win your share of $100,000 in prizes, and it's absolutely free to play. Only on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Don't forget, you do have to be 21 or older, physically present in West Virginia or Pennsylvania. You can get more details at sportsbook.fanduel.com. And as I always remind you, if you have any gambling problems, and too many people do, most people can gamble and have fun, and it's entertainment for them. But if you have a problem with gambling, then call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. We'll talk more about Mitch Carmichael, the former Senate president who got called home, if you will, sent home, I guess is a better way of phrasing it, by his own constituents last year, now called back to the State House to be the top economic development director in West Virginia. Brad McElhaney is with us coming up in the next segment of the show. Also, we'll talk about apparently more vaccines are going to be coming to the state, and that's good news thanks to a Biden initiative, and we'll talk about that. And also, there are some vaccine clinics coming up this week I want to let you know about as well. Most of them are specific clinics for certain groups of people, but there is, I think tomorrow there is an open clinic for the general public. And we'll talk a little bit about that coming up here on the Watchdog Morning Show. So stick around, we'll talk about that. Later on, Sean Fluharty is going to join us, delegate from the 3rd District, the puppet master, if you will. Man, did you hear him get on the mayor yesterday about that, Biffy?
Oh, yeah.
The mayor said, it's the puppet master, and Sean goes, hey, that's Monroe's thing. You don't call me the puppet master. Monroe calls me the puppet master. So the puppet master is in with us coming up a little bit later on this morning to talk about how do the Democrats handle being a super minority? What are they going to do? All of this, more of your texts, got a few more coming in on smokers getting COVID preference, a vaccine preference. All of this coming up on the Watchdog Morning Show, but right now, ABC covers the world.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
From ABC News.
Brad at 8:10, and Sean is at 9:30-ish or so. Depends on when the mood strikes him. Just so you know. And I double-checked, and I couldn't find anything about this. I had requested a marketing expert today to talk about Super Bowl ads, and I never heard anything back from them. So I'm assuming they just ignored me. But in the event someone calls in, let me know, because I double-checked again this morning to make sure I got no confirmation or response. I simply sent off a request and I got nothing back, so I assume they're not going to do anything. But just be aware if somebody calls to talk about Super Bowl ads, then I've screwed up. So just let me know and we'll figure out how to make it work. I probably said 810 would be my best guess, but I don't know. It was literally my first request to them. I probably gave them 810, 840, or 910. So I have no idea. I don't expect it. It's kind of like it's half in my mind that they might be on, but I don't think they will. But I just want you to be aware of that. So if somebody calls, don't be stunned and just put them on hold and we'll figure something out. All right. Thank you.